Today we're going to demonstrate the proper procedures for positioning students for various activities. In order to enjoy activities and have fun, people need to feel comfortable and prepared to independently interact as best as they can. Additionally, there are many risk factors involved if children are poorly positioned for activities. Some factors include pressure ulcers, which can be fatal if left untreated, pain, red skin, and swelling. Many students with physical disabilities need some assistance when preparing to be positioned for many activities. However, all students are different and need different levels of assistance, some more than others. In this video, we will describe and demonstrate the steps that are necessary to make sure students are positioned comfortably and safely for their various activities. There are 5 major general positioning considerations for all activities, which include getting yourself ready, contact, communication, preparation, and performance. Also, there are 3 main goals of positioning a student with a physical disability, which include bringing muscle tone as close to normal as possible, 2, to minimize the occurrence of primitive reflexes, and last, to facilitate active movement and typical patterns within the normal developmental sequence of a child.
There are 5 major general positioning considerations for all activities, which include getting yourself ready, contact, communication, preparation, and performance. First is getting yourself ready. You first need to make sure that you and all of the necessary equipment are ready. Always wear comfortable clothing that allows you to easily and comfortably bend your legs and move around, like these stretchy pants. For equipment, make sure you have all pieces you need, everything is working, and that you will not need to interrupt the procedure for tasks you could have prepared prior to the beginning. If transferring a student in a wheelchair, position the wheelchair as close to the student as possible and lock the brakes so it doesn't move or spin. Contact. Before beginning to move a student, always make sure that you let them know you're about to work with them. This can be done with a gentle touch on the shoulder, saying the student's name, or making eye contact. Are you ready, Rhett?
Ready.
Third is communication. Let the student know what is going to happen. This can be communicated with simple phrases like, "Brett, I'm going to move you now, if that's okay." You may need to point or gesture to bring them an item or prompt that helps them understand what's going to happen. For example, if repositioning for going outside to recess, you could bring the student their jacket, reminding them that they're about to go outside. Fourth is preparation. Next, you need to prepare the student physically for the routine. This could include helping the student stretch or relax particular parts of the body, as well as anything else that helps the student get his or her body ready for the routine. For example, Brett, let's stretch out your legs before I reposition you. Lastly is performance. Perform the steps of repositioning of the student in ways that allow the student to have choices and require as much participation from the student as possible. For example, would you like to put your coat on, Brett, or do you want me to help you?
Yeah, that's something I could do. But Miss Jenna, could you help me tie my shoe? It's hard for me to bend down before we get ready to go outside for recess.
Yeah.
Ready to go. When positioning a student for an activity, there are many things you should check for, whether they are sitting down, laying down, or using an assistive device. One thing you should check for is that the student has a symmetrical alignment about them, where the head, neck, body, torso, and legs are all in a straight line. If you need to reposition the student, make sure you adjust them or provide support so everything is in a nice straight line and the student is able to stay healthy. While all these areas should be supported, they should also have free movement about them. The student should not be strapped down in any way, but also have supportive devices in case their head tilts back or anything like that. Also, while being supported, you should be able to make sure the student has no friction between them and the seat. If the student is slipping down in their seat or any part of their body, like their shoe, is not tied tightly, you need to make sure that those things are supported and held tightly together to make sure that the student does not get ulcers from rubbing against the chair, or whatever assistive device they're using. The student should also be in a position where they're able to stay focused and comfortable. A person's position should be changed at least every 2 hours, usually more often, depends on the students, and that way you can prevent pressure ulcers, and in many cases the student also might just feel more comfortable if their muscles are able to move every once in a while.
Today we're going to practice these skills in a classroom-like setting. Specifically, we're going to teach you how to position and reposition students with physical disabilities while sitting in chairs.
Step 1. Look around and make sure everything is ready.
Okay, we're going to have to move a few things here. Gonna clean up these papers. Gonna have to move the desk. Brett's chair has to go back here. Gotta move this so he can sit down. And I know he'll need his jacket later before he goes out to recess.
Step 2. Let the student know you're about to help them.
Hey Brett, I'm about to help you move into this chair. Are you ready?
Ready to go.
Step 3. Communicate to them exactly what is going to happen.
Alright Brett, first we're going to put your knees together. I'm going to position my knees like this. Now I'm going to put my arms right here, and when I say go, we're going to stand up, okay? Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. Let's move over here.
Step 4. Check that the student has symmetrical alignment.
Alright, let's push your knees together. Let's get you this way.
Step 7. Prepare the student physically for the routine.
Alright Brett, we're going to get you walking a little bit, get the blood flowing, get some strength back in your legs. You ready?
Ready to go.
Alright. 1 second. Okay. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Alright. Take just some small steps. There you go. Alright.
Last is step 8. Perform the steps of positioning and repositioning in ways that allow the student to have choices and participate the best that they can.
Hey Brett, would you like a headrest right now or none?
Yeah, I prefer it, thank you.
Okay. Now how does that feel?
Could you roll to the left?
Yeah, good? Yeah, thanks. Also, do you need your pen and paper or do you got it?
I can reach that, thank you.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Positioning is something that should never be taken lightly for the effects that negative positioning can have on a student with a physical disability. Imagine if you had to sit in the same position for hours on end. It would be very uncomfortable and could cause injury down the road. Keeping the student comfortable so they are able to focus on the task at hand is an important part for any daily task. And, as always, you should want your students to be healthy and avoid injuries that could have severe long-term ramifications if gone unprevented.